Hey guys, thank you for watching the Slat Rock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Today we present you with 10 NXT call-ups that just didn't work out. Number 10. Bobby Roode. One of NXT's most popular stars, it didn't take Bobby Roode long to capture the developmental brand's championship in January 2017, less than a year after his debut. With his ornate robes and classical style, many fans compared the Glorious One to a young Triple H, though Roode has failed to have the same success on the main roster. While an established main eventer in NXT, Roode has become a defined mid-carder on the main show after being called up in the summer of 2017. It seems the main issue is that in NXT, Roode was a big fish in a small pond, while there are plenty of more popular stars on both Raw and SmackDown Live. Despite a recent name change and reigns as United States, Raw Tag Team and 24/7 champion, it seems Roode is only popular for fans nowadays because of his truly incredible theme song. Number 9. The Revival. In an era where smaller athletic stars are leaping across the ring, the Revival's no flips, just fists gimmick in NXT was a breath of fresh air. Instead of flashy moves, the pair focused on tag-based offense, often cutting the ring in two, much like classic tag teams like Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. Though their no-flash required personas worked well in NXT, it turns out some flash is required on the main roster. Despite impressive matches, the pair have had little to do in storylines, with the team of Dash and Dawson only really making headlines after asking for the release. Other reports have said the pair got in hot water for describing themselves as pro wrestlers, allegedly infuriating Vince McMahon. A reign as Raw Tag Team Champion seems to have stopped Dash and Dawson from leaving for now, though their recent embarrassing storyline with the Usos has left a sour taste in the collective mouth of the WWE Universe. Number 8. Ty Dillinger. For someone who described himself as perfect, Ty Dillinger sure did lose a lot of matches in NXT. After a while though, Dillinger's plucky attitude and never-say-die grit earned the respect of the NXT faithful who were willing to stick by the Canadian throughout. When he made it to the main roster though, fans weren't so loyal. Instead of a rabid crowd chanting 10 for the so-called Perfect 10, fans just couldn't get behind him, and WWE didn't exactly give him many exciting feuds. The only accomplishment of Dillinger's time on the main roster was the novelty of entering the Royal Rumble at number 10. A fun, goofy spot, but something a wrestler can't exactly build a career around. With fans losing interest in him, the company seemingly having no plans for him, and an injury taking up much of Dillinger's time, it came as no surprise when the Perfect 10 announced his departure from the company in February 2019. Number 7. Bayley. Though she may have recently captured the SmackDown Women's Championship, Bayley's time on the main roster has been far from easy. Being called up from NXT in 2016, Bayley's brief title reigns with the Raw Women's Gold and Tag titles were quickly forgotten about, as the huggable one has been looked past in favor of other stars time and time again. As if short reigns weren't bad enough, a series of awkward feuds haven't helped, from the cringe-inducing This Is Your Life with Alexa Bliss to her teased heel turn against Sasha Banks, which ultimately went nowhere. As if that wasn't bad enough, fans can look back at her incredible time in NXT, where Bayley was treated much better, and the comparison between her time in the developmental brand and the main roster is startling. The first ever Women's Grand Slam winner, fans can only hope that Bayley's career now on the blue brand will be much better than her time so far on the WWE main roster. Number 8. The Ascension. From the moment the Ascension made their debut on the WWE main roster, their mystique ended. In NXT, the team of Connor and Victor were an unstoppable force, holding the brand's tag team titles for almost an entire year. The problem with their call-up is that it came at a strange time in wrestling, especially in the tag team division. With the division being a mixture of makeshift teams like Rybaxel, long-established teams like the New Day, and the recently reunited Dudley Boys, it seemed that there was just no room for the Ascension. Despite being portrayed as towering monsters in NXT, the 6'2" and 6'4" stars looked drastically smaller on the main roster. The final nail in their coffin came during one of the pair's first appearances on Raw, when the commentary team referred to the duo as Legion of Doom ripoffs, and even 4 years later, the pair still struggle to be relevant. Number 5. Apollo Crews. In the past, Triple H said he would never pull anyone up from NXT to the WWE Main Roster unless there was a clear plan laid out. Well, the case of Apollo Crews has either proved that the game is a liar or Vince McMahon doesn't listen to his son-in-law, because the former Uhaa Nation has done nothing but struggle on the main roster. Crews' main problem after being moved to SmackDown in the 2016 brand extension is that the man lacks any sort of an edge and has spent the majority of his time in promos smiling aimlessly. An incredibly talented athlete, Crews is always able to deliver in the ring, but without a character other than generic smiling man, in-ring skill can only take him so far. Though the athletic story has been featured against prominent opponents, including The Miz, Braun Strowman, and Kurt Angle, Crews almost always ends up on the losing end. Unless something changes soon, it seems Apollo won't be in the WWE for much longer, a real shame considering he was one of NXT's biggest signings from the independent scene. Number 4. Adam Rose. Though Rose seems to be doing much better now that he's out of wrestling, the former WWE superstar suffered greatly on the company's main roster. Originally billed as Leo Kruger in NXT's predecessor FCW, the Exotic Express took NXT by storm as fans flocked to become one of Adam's rosebuds. Like many on this list though, Rose's transition to the main roster wasn't smooth, as it seemed neither fans nor WWE themselves were ready to invest in the character. A true jobber, Rose failed the company's wellness policy twice and got in hot water in May 2016 when he was arrested for tampering with a witness in a domestic assault case. Instantly suspended, it was clear WWE would never attempt to push him again after the controversy, and after his release that same month, Rose has retired from wrestling. Number 3. Bo Dallas. As a former NXT champion and part of a historic wrestling family, Bo Dallas had a lot going his way when he jumped to the main roster in 2014. Down in NXT, Dallas had transitioned from a lovable champion to an egoist with a creepy smile and was pushed heavily as a motivational speaker when he came to the main roster. Notching up an impressive winning streak, things seemed well for Dallas, though once it ended, the company didn't have a new plan for him. Quickly falling down the mid-card, Dallas has struggled to remain relevant and has only returned to a modicum of success recently after years of being a jobber. Part of Dallas's bad booking may be due to his actions out of the ring, as he was arrested for driving under the influence in February 2012 and arrested again in September 2016 for public intoxication. He may be a solid hand in the ring and a good henchman, but we can't see Dallas moving up the card anytime soon. Number 2. EC3. Unlike most on this list, EC3 hasn't transitioned from NXT to the mid-card badly once, but twice. Under his original name Derek Bateman, the future superstar competed on both Season 4 and Season 5 of the original NXT, though after being given little by the company, was released in May 2013. During his time away, Bateman would do huge things as EC3 in Impact Wrestling, capturing the company's world title twice as well as the Grand Championship. Returning to WWE in 2018, Carter started strong competing for the NXT North American title before being called up in December 2018. Much like his previous tenure on the main roster, EC3 has struggled greatly on the main roster, though it's hard to pinpoint why. The biggest win of his main roster tenure came against former WWE champion Dean Ambrose, though despite the huge victory, nothing came of it afterwards. Perhaps Vince McMahon simply doesn't want to see someone he let go come back and do better, as Carter was paired with his old TNA manager Drake Maverick, but the pairing was cut before it made it to air. Whatever the reason, the future doesn't look bright for the 1%er. Number 1. Bray Wyatt. In NXT, Bray Wyatt was at his arguable peak of mysteriousness, as the Manson-like leader of the Wyatt family proved himself to be consistently entertaining. Called up to the main roster in the summer of 2013 though, Wyatt started strong but quickly fell down the card. Despite being in prominent feuds against the likes of John Cena, The Undertaker, and Roman Reigns, Wyatt lost all of these feuds, and it's frankly difficult to get behind a guy who keeps on losing. Capturing the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber 2017, fans of the Eater of Worlds hoped this would be a fresh start, though he lost the gold just 1 month later. Wyatt's promos have come under scrutiny as well, as though the mysterious figure talks a lot, his character actually says very little. Recently returning with his Firefly Funhouse, fans are still optimistic about Wyatt, who they hope will finally get to prove himself as a true star, much like he did in NXT. Well guys, that's our list. Can you guys name any other NXT call-ups WWE dropped the ball on? Drop us comments and let us know, we're sure there's plenty of them still out there. If you like this video, don't forget to check out our previous video, 10 wrestlers you didn't know also had albums. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. If you indeed like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.